Hey guys, welcome back. Coming up next, reserve list cards you can actually still afford. Well, at least for now. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. MTG Moxman here. What's going on, guys? Hope you're having a great day. Well, yesterday I did a video kind of showing how the reserve list certain cards are kind of getting out of whack and getting out of knock there. They're getting so pricey. And I like to warn people when I see things happening. So this will be an advance warning on cards that potentially could go up much higher than they are right now. So if you were looking to get some of these cards, this is the time to do it, okay? Because they're not that expensive on a whole. And in particular, the cards I chose to watch today are cards I myself watch, okay? That's how I like to do things. Cards I think have potential. But in general, I want them to be used in multiple formats, not just Vintage, not just Legacy. I love to see Commander in there as well, okay? So all the cards today are lands, okay? Every card I chose on my reserve list watch today are land cards because they have potentials to go higher. They're not too pricey at the moment that you can't afford to get one, so they're nice to have. And again, none of these are being printed again, so keep that in mind. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button, join in the fun, all right? So here we go. Number one, if you made this far already. Here we go. Where's number one? I mixed these up. Number one, Salvati Excavations. Now, Salvati Excavations is a very interesting card. Most of these cards actually are from Alliances, Mirage, because they didn't have major drawbacks. Now, Salvati Excavations says when it comes into play, you have to sacrifice an untapped island. Okay, I get that. But it does tap for one blue, one other. So you don't really have a drawback in that sense. And there's other ways of getting lands back into play we all know about. So really, this is just a way of getting two lands out on turn two. But it also has the ability to look ahead in your library. You can pay one, tap it, and look at the next card and decide to put it on the top and put it on the bottom of your library. It's kind of cool. I think also even shuffle. Sorry, I gotta take a look at this card even closer. Let's take a look at that bad boy there. So it says here, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card on the bottom of your library. So it's even a way of cycling out cards you don't think are that cool or great. Totally understandable. But for 10 bucks, come on guys, think about the land cycles we have nowadays they pay $8, $9 for. This card's 25 years old. It's not going to stay that way. Okay, it's just not. And there's reasons why it shouldn't. Alliances, although it did have a high print run, it was high back then. High as in compared to nowadays. Probably not that much. Some people have started to notice this card. It is ticking up slightly, and I don't like the shipping rates I'm seeing on a lot of these prices, okay? You want to find places where the shipping is free or much more minimal. Nobody should be charging you 15 bucks shipping to send an $8 card. So keep that in mind. In the US, you'd be looking only like $5, $6 for this card, and the shipping's probably pennies on the dollar because you're in that country. So awesome card. Very, very, very like it, okay? I do have a couple of copies of this one. It is nice. All right, let's jump ahead to number two, okay? Now, these aren't in a particular order. They're just the order in which I took them off my list, okay? So I'm not saying which one of them was my favorite or anything. So, number two, Kiljoran Outpost. Now, when you think of Castle Eldraine, whatever, from Throne of Eldraine, the one you have to tap 4 land to get a creature of it. This one's tap 2 to get a creature of it, and you can still use it in Commander. So again, when we look at a card like this, oh, sorry. When we look at this card, let's just pull this out so you guys can see a little better. When it comes into play, you may sacrifice a plains, right? Or you have to bury it. That's fine. It still taps for 1 white, and you can tap 1 white, 1 other to make a 1/1 white creature. Think about this card, guys. It also is not legendary. You can have multiple copies of this card and start pumping out mega creatures. 8 mana would get you like 4 creatures every turn if you had enough of these cards. Or ways of untapping that land to multiple affect it. Or things like Lithoform Engine to double effects. Think about the effects you can do with it. It is crazy. Okay, I'm just saying. It's an awesome card. Very inexpensive at like 10 to 15 bucks. But again, you can't expect these cards to stay there. People are noticing it. I'm giving advance warning because they're on my list. And from when I bought, most of these prices have doubled or tripled. So I don't really look at the cards as much as I should. I get pretty busy on the channel nowadays. But looking back now, I want to give people fair warning in case these are land cards you might want to pick up for your own purposes, for future decks, or for ideas, or just to hold on to and say, hey, I have one, okay? Because again, if it goes up later, you'll regret watching my video and saying, oh, I should have listened. I know. So stay calm. We're going to get through this together. I'm going to show you all the cards I know about. All right, number 3. Now, number 3 is Thawing Glaciers. This one, I've never used it. I own a couple of copies. I don't use it in a deck. Now, in case those of you didn't know, Thawing Glaciers is a little more unique. Oh, sorry. Let me just drag that baby out for you guys. Thawing Glaciers, as you can see here, it says it comes into play tapped. But it lets you search your library for a basic land card and put it into play tapped. This does not count towards your 1 land per turn. So think about it. Every other turn, you're getting a land out, but you're cycling through your deck so fast. Okay? And if you have something like a fast bond out, or if you had one of the newer cards that lets you lay out multiple lands in a turn, this could be a very sick combination card. Now, this one's creeping up a lot more than the others because it does have uses in certain types of decks, but not every deck. I want you guys to be aware of that, okay? This one is not for everyone. It's not for everyone. This one here has uses in certain decks, but not every deck. If you're a fast aggro deck and stuff, you're not going to use this card. But if you're going to build a constructed deck later in Commander, and you're going to need like a blue mana ramp deck, this is going to get your blue land, give you a steady stream of mana. Every other turn, you won't have to worry about it if you don't have land in your hand, right? Because this will get you the land eventually. So, good card. I do not personally use this one. I've just bought a couple of copies. I have a playset to make sure I had a playset of this one. And I bought it back when it was like $5-6. So when it's already in the 20s, that tells me, you know, it's already quadrupled over to like 300%. That's nuts for a card like that I bought just like 2 years ago. So, keep it in mind. It's only for a certain deck, that one. But it is a good card. All right, number 4. Again, not in any order. Lake of the Dead. Now, Lake of the Dead has always been good. Okay, always. Now, Lake of the Dead here, if you look at this baby, it has lots of uses. There are lots of ways to get Lake of the Dead to do everything you want and more. You have to sacrifice a swamp when it comes into play, but you can sack it to get 4 black mana. So there are ways of ramping out massive beasts on like turn 3 and 4. And with the Crucible Worlds or other cards that you go back, you can recycle this land and put it back into your hand. Like, it's crazy. So it is a major mana ramp card. Now this one has a lot more value than other cards from Alliances. This is one of the key cards. It's on the non-reprint list. The art is beautiful to look at, and it's an amazing card. So I think very highly of this card. It is priced, you're looking at $50, $60, $70, $80 now for this card, which is, of course, driving it up because there's not that many in circulation anymore. So keep in mind, great card. If you can afford it, definitely get a playset for yourself. It's nice. I've used that one a lot in the years. All right, number 5. Now, number 5. I like this card, but I do not rank it as high as the others. This is Teferi's Isle. Now, Teferi's Isle does come into play tapped, but it taps for 2 blue mana. So it has a drawback on turn 1, but then you're getting 2 mana every turn, guys. And you can see by those prices, it's a very affordable card. Now, the shipping can get us again in Canada. In the US, it's probably not going to be a problem for you guys because you live there, but the shipping will be much lower, okay? So $5-6, get a playset. Have 4 of them for $20. Keep it aside in case you need it. It is a legendary land, but it's still very nice to have a play set in case you're going to use it in multiple decks, or you put 4 in one deck knowing you won't put them all into play, and you're going to use the extras as sacrificial cards later. But it does tap for 2 blue mana. If anything goes wrong, you don't get mana. If you had that card, you're like, oh, I don't have to sacrifice anything when it comes into play. I do wait a turn, which lots of lands do anyway, but this one taps for 2. 2 blue. It's got to go in a blue deck. I don't know why this one is so low. Take advantage of it. It won't stay there. All right, and then I thought for our last card that I thought was interesting and on my list is, of course, Undiscovered Paradise. Now, Undiscovered Paradise, guys, is, again, a cool card. Lots of abilities. It says it comes into play. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. At the beginning of your next untap step, return Undiscovered Paradise to its owner's hand. Okay, now I have seen lots of shenanigans with this card over the years. Seriously. I've seen people tap it for mana, and then they go ahead and sacrifice it to like a Zern Orb, and then they bring it back with the Crucible Worlds, and they recycle the land, right? So they can get any colors they need all the time, and they're gaining life. It's crazy. So it has lots of uses, and if you got to have a certain mana, It's perfect to have in your deck to cast out when you need to. And again, at that price, it's not expensive. 4 of them for like 60 bucks. Come on. There's lots of cards nowadays we pay more money than that when they first come out. This is a card, again, that 20 plus year range. And again, I chose cards that are functional in other formats. I didn't choose every card on my list. I chose this video to be about the lands that can be used, because land cycle is so important in Magic and it's underrated for most people. And then by the time you go looking for these cards, you're going to be like, oh, it's already too pricey. It's already $100 a card. I don't want to buy it anymore. So get it while it's a little bit cheaper. Please pass this video along to your friends, because most people don't talk about this stuff, which ones you should buy. They're all hoping that you're, if I was an evil person, I would go ahead and buy 20 copies of it right now and you wouldn't have any, right? And then do the video and have people go looking. It's ridiculous. So fair warning, these are the things I found today as of listings today on eBay, of the sold listings. So go ahead, take a look, have some fun with it. I didn't say you had to buy them. I'm just saying these are cards I look at and I think I should buy. All right? Thanks a lot for tuning in. This was MTG Moxman, and you guys rock. Have a great day today. I'm going to click the button. I'm going to turn things off. I know how it's done. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is MTG Moxman. Have yourselves a great day. Thank you to all my patrons out there who make this possible. You guys are amazing, and stay frosty out there. Talk to you soon.